Why do we lie? To avoid getting in trouble? To respect someone's feelings or opinions? Because we're jerks? I feel like those are normal answers. You know the biggest reason why I've lied in my life? To not look like a complete idiot. There have been so many different situations in my life where I've done something stupid, and it wasn't a mistake or anything. It was a decision. A choice I consciously made that resulted in disaster. It was always after I'd seen how my actions ruined everything that it finally struck me. This was a bad idea. Once someone noticed my failures, I'd try and think of a way to make it seem like it wasn't an act of stupidity, but random chance or a complete accident. My downfall with all these lies is that I'm a terrible liar. I basically talk myself into a corner whenever I try to come up with a good lie. It was the end of my 8th grade school year, and I was sitting in one of the last class days before the blessed summer vacation. I had to go to the bathroom and asked for permission to go, as you do in middle school. Do you all mind if I ramble on about bathrooms for a bit? Alright, glad you're cool with that. Bathrooms in people's houses are usually okay for me. People don't like living in a mess, so they keep the bathroom nice and clean and smell-free. Bathrooms in nice restaurants are good too. They've got a reputation to keep, so those are also kept tidy. But other public bathrooms? Awful, disgusting. I feel like Monk when I go in. They smell, there's writing on the wall, sometimes the toilets aren't flushed, and a lot of guys are gross and pee everywhere. Our school bathroom would vary from being cleanish to an absolute mess. To deal with such nasty toilets, I'd taken to flushing with my foot. The bottom of my feet already came in contact with the filthy floor, so what was the problem with touching the flush lever with them? Thinking back on it, I made those toilets way more disgusting for anyone else using them. As time went on, I found my rhythm for foot flushing. When that became routine, I started putting more flourish on it, sometimes a twist, other times a semi-karate kick. Today I was feeling frisky. It was the end of 8th grade. I was going to be a high schooler in a few months, a big kid. My last middle school bathroom trip had to end with a bang. A swift kick wouldn't cut it this time. I grabbed the stall's walls and rocked a bit to see if they would support my weight. Then I took aim and swung back, flew forward and kicked that toilet as hard as I could. There was water everywhere. I washed my hands as fast as I could while watching the water seep out under the bathroom door. All I can remember thinking at the time was, I can't be seen here. I made my way back to class, and once inside, my teacher gave me the strangest look. In the panic of the situation, I hadn't noticed how much water had gotten on me. I looked like I just walked through a hurricane. I'm sure my face also looked crazy to him because I knew the catastrophe taking place just down the hall. Part of me was fortunate the only response from my teacher was a look. I couldn't talk my way out of this. The bathroom wasn't that far from class, so this couldn't be sweat from running. I didn't have to go to another building to use the toilet, so it couldn't be rain. On top of that, it was a picturesque summer day, so the rain never existed. I just tried my best to act like nothing was wrong as I moved toward my seat. Of course, the other part of me understood. He knew. There was no escaping the inevitable punishment. I sat down like everything was fine, even though there were 20 pairs of eyes locked on me, curious as to what happened in my short trip. They all knew too. It wasn't long before class ended, and to my surprise, I wasn't called up to the teacher's desk. I was gonna make it. I was gonna get away with it, and this would just be a freak accident. No one had to know. They all knew, and I was doomed. Unfortunately for me, there was still plenty of time left in the day for my crime to be discovered and justice be exacted upon me. We all went to homeroom, and it was then that my other teacher said something about my appearance. Not a moment later, another student comes into the classroom talking about how the hallway was covered in water. Things had gotten farther out of hand than I could have ever imagined. Not only was the water spreading down the halls, it was also making its way from the 8th grade hallway to the 7th grade hallway. My homeroom teacher made a call to someone on the 7th grade hallway. Was he trying to warn them? No. He was condemning me. Of all the 7th grade teachers, he had to call that one. The one teacher that could never know. The one teacher that had more influence than any other teacher I knew. He called my mom. So now we're in the principal's office, and that's when they asked the question.
Carl, how did you break the toilet?
It just kinda broke. The perfect alibi. There was no way they were gonna think I destroyed a toilet. Not like the evidence that linked me straight to the crime wasn't still seeping into my socks. They just looked at me. I like to imagine they were astonished that I thought such a garbage fib would work.
Okay, Carl, here are your options. You can either pay to have the toilet fixed, or you can stay after school for a week in the summer and work it off.
I'm gonna give all of you party people the chance to guess what little 14-year-old Carl said. If you said work it off, you were wrong. I looked at my mom, totally straight-faced, and asked, "Mom, how much money's in my bank account?" You know, I don't think I've ever seen my mom get as mad as she did in that moment. And I don't think she's ever been as mad at me since.
Carl, I'm gonna give you one more chance on that. If you don't pick correctly, I'm gonna turn around and let your mother do whatever she has to.
If you can believe it, I had to look death in the face twice to get the hint. I told the principal I wanted to work in the summer. I mean, if I didn't, I wouldn't have a summer, or a fall, or a winter. It wasn't that bad, to be honest. It was just kind of mindlessly scanning books that students turned in at the end of the year. And one of my friends was there, so that was cool. Also, the books were on pallets, and you could hide in them like a little fort. I want to say that was the last time I really tried to lie. Modern me wouldn't have kicked the toilet at all. Terrified the same thing could happen, and knowing I wouldn't get off anywhere near as easily, I've just taken to flushing normally and then vigorously washing my hands. Public bathrooms are still gross, but thank goodness auto-flushing toilets are becoming more common. Second reel video's finally done. Alright, so next month I'm trying to do something that might be a little bit ambitious for what I can do currently, but here's hoping things work out. And I'm just amazed that I actually have fan art that I can show off. Oh man, this is so cool. I don't even know how to feel about all this. Ooh man, that's great. Alright, so I'll see you guys around. Thanks for watching, and you all have a good day. Should I come up with like an end catchphrase, like where